What's going on, ladies, gentlemen, fellow mutants? We are back. Three brothers in a shot of milk. Actually, two brothers, but it's okay. We're gonna keep it pushing anyway. Below me is one of the brothers, Chris St. Victor. Next to me is a shot of milk, Jack, and I am the other brother. In case you haven't been able to tell, I'm rich or adept is critical for. Yes, respect the game. All right, Warhammer is life.
You fully adapt. You fully engulfed the Warhammer, huh?
All up in like as I was setting this up, I don't know if Jack heard. I was listening to the whole explanation of the Imperium of Man, and I was like, man, this is good stuff. Anyway, we're here to talk about comic books, video games, movies, anime, maybe a little bit, and more toys. A lot of toys. We got toys. Everyone got toys. And yeah, here we are, gentlemen. I know it's a little broken up intro, but gentlemen, how you doing? How's your week been? How have you been in general? How's your family? What have you been watching? What have you been playing? What have you been, diddling with?
Excuse me?
Well, you sure you want to
What
know
do you
that
say?
answer? You sure want to know that answer?
Oh, it's been a nice run, guys. I guess this is our last show.
Jack, you say that so much, it's lost all its meaning by now.
It's been our last show for the last 200 shows.
That's it.
So I'm caught up on Superman and Lois, which is good.
Okay.
This is good content, guys. This is good content. Except for the last episode was probably the worst of the episodes. I didn't need this episode. Like, what was this last episode? They had a wedding in the. You're dealing with the death and return of Superman arc, and they throw this random wedding in the middle of the season. I'm like, we didn't need this as a filler episode. It's a filler episode, and it's their last season. How do you guys have room for filler episode in your last season? I didn't understand this episode.
I don't know.
So aside from that, it's been a banger of a season so far. And then obviously I'm caught up with Agatha. Come on, y'all. You're not watching Agatha?
Okay. I'm getting caught up, to be fair.
He's not.
I didn't need the last episode of that one either.
Oh, why not?
I've been watching a lot of things. I didn't need the last episode. Who got married? Connie Alaska in the house. She says, "What's up, Connie Alaska? Who got married?
What up, Connie?
Who got married? You know, the not to be offensive, but they're some auxiliary characters with a C plot storyline. I got married, and so you just didn't need it. There's too much going on that needs to take this much time. A whole episode." To take a whole episode.
Like Bob got married, and you're like, what?
Yeah, and I'm not saying their characters aren't relevant to Smallville and that stuff, but we're dealing with a really big story arc right now, and there's just not a lot of room for sideways energy. If you're asking me,
get to the meat and potatoes.
Sideways energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I watched Venom, which we'll talk about later in the episode. We're gonna talk about Venom.
We gotta talk about Venom. There's some tears shed, I'll tell you that.
Now, yes, for different reasons, I'm sure too. Yeah. I'm hoping you brought that mask of yours at some point. We'll see.
The mask,
a popcorn bucket, or whatever it was.
That you gotta wait. You can't jump ahead in segments, Jack.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm hoping to see this in in the screen.
Yep.
I started playing a video game called what's it called? It's like Jot or something. I don't it's on the PS5. I think it's on probably a bunch of platforms though. And essentially it's fun. It's a Zelda type game. Okay. It's no Cat Quest. It's a Zelda type game. Where you're looking at, you're kind of above the character-esque at a slight angle, seeing the whole screen and the character running around. It's got a sword like Zelda. I'm kind of digging it, though, and I was surprised because the backstory of this game, I think it's Jot something. I'll look it up. I'll talk to you later on. Maybe I'll say it. You're a character in a book. Like you're the hero, swashbuckling hero in a kid's book, right? Jot.
Okay.
And what happens though is the wizard in the
Shots.
book, who you constantly defeat in the series of books, is getting tired of being of losing, and the wizard somehow becomes aware that they're in a book and that he might be able to rewrite the narrative of the book, so he wins.
Fourth
And
wall
so,
break.
it's crazy though. So the wizard basically kicks Jot out of the book.
Huh.
And so you're playing what looks like a real 2D game that turns three-dimensional when the protagonist character is shot out of the child's book into
That's
the
kind
kid's
of cool.
room.
That's kind of cool.
Okay.
Right. And you're small because you're the size of the book character. And so now you're Jot in the real world trying to figure out what just happened. How am I what is this place, and how do I get back into my world? And now I'm at the point in the game where you're able to go back and forth from the book to the real world, kind of as
All
much
right.
as you want. And so it's really cool. The graphics are kind of fun. It's a kid's game. It's whimsical, but it's like Zelda-esque, so it's as kiddish as that something like that is.
Yeah.
That's
All
And
right.
that was my week.
That was your week, Chris. What's going on with you? How you been? What's going on? What you
Good.
reading? What you watch? What you playing, son?
So I'm reading the new Dark Knight run from Frank
Yeah.
Miller.
How's that?
It's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm halfway through it. It's pretty good.
Have you jumped into the new Long Halloween stuff?
No, we haven't. We haven't. I haven't jumped into it yet.
I'm really interested in that.
I have the first two issues. Actually, I think I have them right here. In fact, I do. I have within reaching distance. I have a couple of the issues. So here's one of the issues.
Mm-hmm.
Of the new Long Halloween, last Halloween, and I have there's a couple of variant covers. Give me 1 second, Jack. You'll be happy. It's in a box, in a bag with a board, Jack.
I know they won't be that way for long.
They're always like that, Jack.
You give Chris half a second, man. He's gonna finger the hell out of them books.
You know I will. Third knuckle deep, baby. Here's the other variant cover.
I did not need to hear that.
And one more variant cover. Oh, we're talking about Venom. I cop this too. What if Venom was Loki?
What if Venom was Loki?
Yeah. Oh, here's my last variant cover. Did I buy two of the same one? Yes, I did. Damn it.
Probably did.
I did. It's the same.
Yeah.
One. Yeah, I bought two of the same one.
Yeah, I want to jump into that. I'm debating about waiting for it to play out, and I'll just get the.
Yeah, I just bought it because it was number one. They had some cool variants, so I bought a couple of variant covers. I thought I bought more variant covers than I did, but I realized I bought two of the same. So whatever. But yeah. So
not to debo your recap of the week, but have you been playing the VR?
Yes, I've been playing. That's the one. The next thing. I've been actually playing stuff. I've been playing Arkham Shadows, and it's.
All right, hold on. Have you been using the treadmill thingy?
No, so I just got my Nexus.
Moving on.
Wait,
I was
nervous. I just got my Nexus connector last week, so
Okay.
I needed. So I didn't realize that I needed this other connector, which is like a kind of like a Raspberry Pi type computer.
All right.
That allows the inputs from the Cat VR to communicate with the MetaQuest 3. So if you just play off of like a Steam VR and you use your MetaQuest as it just says the visual for the Steam VR, but your PC is doing all the processing, then it connects seamlessly. But like me, I don't have a gaming PC. I just game off my MetaQuest. You need another processor to help process the motion. So that actually just came in the mail yesterday. So I got to mess with that, but it's been busy. So
wait another week to get updates.
I've been playing that. So yeah, but I have been playing the Arkham Quest, the Arkham Shadow. It's it's dope. It's probably the best VR game I've ever played. To be honest with you.
How many VR games have you been playing?
I played the Iron Man. I beat the Iron Man.
Yeah.
Honor. I played all the Star Wars. The Darth Vader Star Wars, which was really good. I played all 3 of those chapters. I played Sniper Elite. I play Grid Legends. I play
All right.
Ghostbusters. So I got a pretty decent catalog. But this game is amazing. This game is amazing, man. It's very very much like the Batman games that we play from Rocksteady and those other companies.
Right.
But it's just you're just in it. You're actually in it. So the motions are the same. You upgrade as you go. You upgrade your moves. You upgrade your weapons, stuff like that. But it's dope. Like when you're fighting, like you're throwing punches. You're fighting. It's cool. Man.
Have you noticed yourself getting more agile in real life?
Actually, yes, I have. Well, yeah, Sebastian walked in the room. So you punch, and then you grab the guy, and then you headbutt him, and then Sebastian was like, "What are you playing?" Because I stood there like very superhero-ish at the end, not intentionally, but just because you just feel it. And he's like, "What are you playing? You look so cool." I'm like, "Yeah, dude."
Yeah, yes, son.
I'm not gonna lie. When you said Sebastian walked in the room, that story went a different way. I thought like you threw a punch and Sebastian was just right there.
No. Remember, like don't be a menace to South Central. Yeah, he's just punching all the kids.
Yeah.
No.
All right, that's good. That's it. So you've been
I've been playing COD and the new that new Jurassic Park Camp Cretaceous dropped and we started watching it. So
how are you liking Black Ops?
I'm only playing campaign now. I always play campaign first before I do anything else.
How are you liking that?
It's actually more challenging than any campaign I've ever played in the past. So yeah.
Okay.
What are you thinking? Let's segue to you. How are you doing, Rich? How was your week?
Before that, we're gonna. Hey, what's going on, Connie Lasky? We already said hi to you, but this came in new. How you doing, everyone? Connie Lasky says hi, and Pop Johnson says nice. He was talking about your VR experience.
Thank you, Pop Johnson.
And yeah, my week. Listen, my week has been my week. What do you want me to do? Let's go on to the next thing. Nah, as I've been talking off air, Teacup, which I've been actually. I think I'm caught up on. I've been watching it since it came out, and I've just been forgetting to say anything. Pretty dope stuff. I don't know what's about to happen here. It's like either spiritual or extraterrestrial type of thing going on here.
Oh shoot!
When I tell you, yeah, all right. Not to give anything away, but pretty much. I mean, they already showed it in the previews, but a mysterious guy in a gas mask, like almost looks like a little bit. Like it's a gas mask. Right? It's a gas mask. Anyway, he comes around. He sprays around the property, around a certain acreage around this property. Just a spray can of a line, and he tells the people on the board, "Don't cross the line," and then don't trust anybody. Right now, of course, naturally, someone comes around spraying the line saying, "Don't cross it." You're not going to listen to him, right? So what happens? First, what people don't notice, a dog goes across the line, and literally his insides becomes his outsides. In the most grotesque way.
Inside Out Boy.
Teacup?
Teacup, yes.
Why is it called Teacup? What a weird title.
Watch it, because they kind of get to it a little bit at the beginning. You ever heard of the phrase "tempest in a teacup"?
No.
Well, the woman explained it. Go watch the show.
Anytime you need a monologue to understand the title.
It's not even a monologue. It was a simple like, okay, fine. She caught a wasp in a teacup. And then trapped it, brought it outside, and she was explaining to her son, "Oh, it's a tempest in a teacup." Pretty much like tempest is like something like really serious and dangerous or whatever, and like something that's fragile. But yeah, so
and it's on Peacock.
It's on Peacock, yes. So one of the neighbors are coming out because there's like a whole bunch of crap is happening. One of the neighbors they're about to leave. Right, his wife crosses the line, fully crosses the line, and before their eyes just dies. Like her insides become her outsides in the most gruesome way. And then he reaches over and his arm up to the point of the line all got mangled. So something's happening where things happen to you, and then you're being told not to trust it. So there's like elements going on in there. Not to give too much away. Watch it though. It's so far it's good. It's like probably like 3 episodes right now. 3, maybe 4 episodes. It's good stuff. Watching that.
Anytime your outsides are on your insides.
You guys remember Inside Out Boy from Nickelodeon?
I remember Inside Out Boy.
He swung over the swing set.
Yeah. And I forgot to say yesterday. I watched Tomb Raider, or not yesterday, last week. I watched a Tomb Raider. Um, send her what? Send her love.
C23. Yeah, C23 is what listening on her phone.
Oh, okay. All right. What's up, C23?
We love you, C23.
Yeah. I guess C23 and Pop Johnson are like in the same
I
room, right?
guess so. I
Appreciate it.
heard they met through our chat. They met in real life. It's because of Three Brothers and Shot of Milk that they're married now.
Wow.
Sounds
Bringing people
sure.
closer
That
together.
sounds made up, but
Sure. We'll run with that.
Same as half the stuff we're talking about.
what's the difference? Everything we talk about is made up anyway.
Oh, all right. I'm caught up with Dan Dan. Y'all should be watching Dan Dan. Actually, no, you shouldn't be watching Dan Dan. It might be a little bit too weird for you guys. All right. Oh, well, maybe Chris. It'll be too weird for Chris.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider and the Temple of Therapy, because that's what I feel like Lara Croft needs in this one.
Oh, is that the new anime or the new movie?
It's the new anime. It's the new anime. Yeah. I'm sorry, animated series.
Right.
Let's be correct on that. Gundam Requiem of Vengeance, which was also
was that good? I was gonna watch that because it didn't look weird.
I'll say this: the Gundam fighting is great. It's great Gundam fighting because it's all what CG or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So the Gundam fighting's great. It's a few moments where it's a little weird. The acting itself with the human characters, they look like dolls. They're sometimes at times they're just expressionless, motionless, but they're supposed to be trying to convey some type of like real like anger or like distress or something. It just came off real flat. And I was like,
dude, CG cartoons are going to be insane soon.
Yeah.
Just insane soon.
But I mean, and then the plot of it kind of just, I'm calling it Gundam and the Adventures of Michael Myers because that's what you're following the Mars, which is the Xenos or Zeons, whatever they're called, and they're invading Earth. But then we're supposed to sympathize with them because they just want to get back home when they realize, oh wait, we're getting our butts kicked. So now we're following them, trying to get off the planet to get back home, and then the plot just goes other places. It's like
we should have a segment where Rich just renames movies.
I mean, I forgot what I was going to name this one, but definitely Tomb Raider and the Temple of Therapy is exactly what Tomb Raider was, because that's what she needed. She cried more than she was doing action stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's a good one.
Dan, I said that. Yes, y'all need to watch that. Caught up on my Hero, and as y'all seen, I did a stream yesterday with the actually I did 2 streams with the campaign for Black Ops. It's interesting.
I feel like there should be. You feel like there should be more substance there, the way they set up the storyline, and then you play it, and then the gameplay itself falls flat.
Yes.
Is that it's not just me?
And some of the story, like some of the like the Desert Storm stuff, like you really didn't need it. They kind of just put it in there for like member berries.
Yeah. So so Jack, I don't know you don't play him. So you start off you start off like 1991, and you're like you have a Black Ops mission that goes wrong. Like you're kind of like on the outside, very like A-team-ish. You have a team that's on the outside and whatever. And then it's like, but it corresponds with real life events. So you go to like a Bill Clinton like rally, presidential rally, and stuff like that, which is cool. They're building up like this whole and you're fighting like this like covert team that's being backed by the CIA. You find out. I'm
But
still like
actual political figures in it.
Yes, Clinton. I don't know.
You got Clinton. They talk about
Is that when it's set in that time?
Yeah, set in that time when he was senator.
Yeah.
So and then you get into the invasion of Iraq and Saddam Hussein and all that. So
how does that work out, man? Does someone like that have to sign off? Video games just get to do whatever they want to do?
I don't. I mean,
because didn't I forget his name, but at the time,
General Petraeus, when they used him in the old Call of Duty?
No, Elaine, I forget what her name changed to. Sorry.
Okay.
they used her likeness in a video game, and then another video
Oh
game.
no, you're talking about the girl from Umbrella. Well, now it's a dude, but from Umbrella Academy, right? It used to be what's her name?
Well, the point is that's not the point. The point is that they had used the person's likeness
for The Last of Us.
Yes, exactly, and I believe there was a lawsuit there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened with that.
So how does that work out with like
I think
a political figure like Clinton being in a thing?
Unless they fall under like this is a parody of what, then you don't have to do anything. You could say it and use them as long as it's under parody. Maybe it's under parody because
how did that lawsuit work out?
I have no idea.
I don't know. But it's not like they were using them they were turning them into.
Thank you, Connie Alaska.
Yeah, it's not like they were using
Elliot. His name's Elliot, right?
Figures as like enemies, or like they're like painting him in a light than they already were. Like he was literally just campaigning to be president. So he was Senator Clinton, and he was just there. It's very much just his face.
Yeah,
he wasn't even doing anything.
But he's on the stage at one point. You see a full shot.
Yeah,
I met no, not really. No. I met him once though. He was mad cool in real life.
I'm pretty
like, how do you think Nixon feels about being in so much well, I mean, obviously.
Well, I mean, they just for the most part, they just use the stuff that he's already been saying. Maybe they go like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe for the stuff where they're doing like a full on Nixon, because I know they had some movies and probably some shows where they had like a Nixon actor doing like this whole thing. I don't know. I would imagine like if you're a public figure like that, like, do you have any rights for?
Of course.
I mean, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I mean, parody laws is not to get too locked in on this thing, but I mean, parody laws is obviously there's a lot of loophole what you can get away with there.
Yeah.
That's why you have like
Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting, but yeah, I would assume that's interesting. I think about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but we'll see. I'm trying to, but I'm still trying to get through the gameplay. But I feel like the gameplay is falling short, and I thought the graphics aren't that great. Rich?
Nah, they're not. They're not.
Like, I'm watching.
How are graphics bad today?
I don't. It's very, very like generic. The graphics, like, it's not terrible, but there's no change or no jump from the last Call of Duty.
Yeah,
and it's like it feels like it's been stuck since like for the past like 3 or 4 years. I feel like the graphics have been stuck. And it's not
playing on systems that cost hundreds of dollars and games that cost hundreds of dollars.
Viv is playing the remastered Last of Us and it looks better than this. Am I wrong, Rich?
I mean, it looked like it looks comparable to like the Warzone stuff that I'm playing right now, which is Modern Warfare 3 and whatnot. So it's like. Yeah, it's not. I don't see any like big leaps and bounds from from what I can remember, the last Black Ops. Like it doesn't seem all that great. But yeah, I don't want to taint it for you. Just continue playing. Let me know. There's one mission, and also with that mission, and continue playing it. When you get to this mission, you'll know what it is. I think it's called Emergence. When you get into that mission, let me know.
Which text me. Let me know. Is that the camera one?
No. You're gonna be first of all. You're gonna be using that camera a lot. All right. Yeah.
It's always great when you get stuck with a feature in a game that you don't really love, but the people were like having way too much. They're like, oh, they're gonna love this.
They're gonna way to get a load of this camera.
Yeah, you're gonna be using that camera quite a bit. I mean,
I just want to shoot people. I just want to shoot things. I don't want to go in.
That's what I want to do. I'll tell you one thing though. They do have this. First of all, I don't know, guys. I don't know when they had this in 1991, but they have a homing throwing knife, an explosive homing throwing knife. You set it, it turns green, and you throw it. You can kind of guide it a little bit, kind of like a batarang, like in one of those Batman games. Right. I think Arkham. You can kind of guide it, and then you can detonate it where you want to. That thing's fun. That thing is fun, and it could be problematic. I don't think it's in multiplayer. It better not be in multiplayer because it will definitely be problematic. But yeah. It's When you get into Emergence, it's let me know.
I will. I'll call you.
And then also with that whole thing that they opened up with that, it panned out to nothing.
Cool.
To nothing. Cool. It was just like, okay, we're just going to throw this in here, and then, that's it.
You're gonna get expletive laced text from me probably within a day or two.
Yeah, and that's it. That's it. I did play. I'll tell you that I played A Quiet Place. I bought Quiet Place,
Okay.
and
There's
that's
a
all right.
Quiet Place video game.
It's a Quiet Place game, yeah, and you use your mic, and you can hear you talking, and if you talk too loud, the death angels come for you. No matter where you are, if you talk too loud, even if you're in a vent, somehow you end up out the vent, and the death angel kills you. I'm just like, what is the point of me being in the vent if I can still be taken? Anyway, it's entertaining for what it is. All right, it's because I always want to play one of these games where you play like you're hiding from something and it can hear you while you're talking,
Yeah.
like actually talking.
Okay.
And now we have one of them, and I'm like, oh, it's pretty all right. It's entertaining for what it is. Long term play, I doubt it, but no, I streamed a little bit of that, and I played a little bit offline. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
because you're also doing that, and then you gotta like the character has asthma, so you gotta like regulate that. So if she gets too close to danger, like her asthma starts acting up. So you got to pop pills or take your inhaler, but the inhaler makes too much noise, so the death angel kills you, right? And if you let the asthma get too exacerbated,
You die.
you start coughing, and the death angel kills you. So it's like, all right, this is life now. All right, got it. But yes, hey, listen, great, Chris.
Yo.
This is probably the second time I've asked this, and hopefully this will be the last time. Doubt it. But ask the robot overlord about a joke, please.
Yes. No problem, Rich. I'm all over it. Alexa, tell me a joke about Venom.
Why does Venom love hanging out with Eddie Brock?
Why?
He's a great host.
Oh!
Hey,
There you go.
bad. Yo, these jokes is
Okay.
getting better.
AI is learning. Oh, and Pop Johnson says he and CNC 23 are just friends, allegedly.
Sure,
Going,
sure.
going to
There you
sprinkle
are.
allegedly in there. All right. With that being said, semi decent joke. And Pop Johnson denying his love for C23. Actually, let me not say that because we don't know who
Yeah, we don't-
C23 is.
Yeah, and
Anyway.
Ty Alaska says how romantic. She loves the fan fiction we're creating by the viewers. Yep, this is our world. Everyone's living in it.
Made up imaginary facts is all we do.
How dare you dispute these made up imaginary stories?
With that being said, we are going to run down the street, cut a left. That's a right, excuse me. Cut a left at the light. Go down past Guzzles. And as we do
Guzzles?
that, we're going to salute.
Guzzles Gas Shop.
Oh
No,
man!
first of all, it's not a
Oh, it
gas
had
shop.
Guzzles.
It's the
Guzzles got
convenience
the
store.
bars on the
It's like
window.
a bodega, really is.
Oh, right.
Oh, for 202, right?
No, what the 45, man? What is
40.
happening?
I got confused. I haven't been to New York in a while.
You're right. You're not even you don't live in that area. That's what it was. You was over in the rich side of town.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, we're gonna salute Pepe's Pizza because it will be missed. And right at the corner of 45 and Exton, we're going to be at the Collector's Corner.
It's show and tell time.
Here at the Collector's Corner, we're taking
I think you need like a music
our toy
in there
chest.
somewhere.
Dude, I don't have any. I just do the transition.
I'll make one.
Here at the Collector's Corner, we're going to our toy chests, our cabinets of various objects.
Curiosities.
Curiosities, yep.
That sounds better, I guess. Objects could be anything. And we're pulling out what we got and we're showing it to y'all. It could be something sentimental, like in Jack's case, or something that you just made, like in Chris's case, or something that you're not going to buy, like in my case now, because I'm poor. Actually, I do got something to show. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's Collector's Corner. What do you guys got?
I'll go first since Jack blew up my spot. Hold on.
Nice.
Hey, what's up?
There we
Hey,
go.
while you're there, can you show us your shirt?
Oh, yes. So my shirt is G.I. Joe. Talks about the battle, planning, teamwork, and high five. But you know what half the battle
knowing
is?
is half the battle.
Knowing's half the battle. Yeah.
You know what's funny? every time I wear this shirt, I get crazy compliments on it. People go crazy. I buy these expensive shirts, no one cares. But I buy these stupid like cartoon shirts, and everyone
talks about it. I'm like, man, I gotta load that shirt, man. I'm like, all right, appreciate it, thank you.
So today I have two things. I have my Venom head collector's popcorn collector. I got the Venom premiere. You can pop
out of his brain.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. So this was money well spent, maybe.
How much money well spent?
$27.
Okay.
Well spent. Can't put a price tag on happiness.
No, you can't. But it came with a giant. But they didn't even put popcorn in it. They just give you the head, and then give you a big thing of popcorn next to it.
I mean, it'll be annoying cleaning that thing out.
I mean, I have the Beetlejuice one, I have the Deadpool one, and now I have the Venom one.
Okay.
So cool.
Nice.
And then I want to show this. I think I've showed it before, but this is I never opened it because I never had a Japanese toy like this before.
Okay.
Jack got this for me. This is who makes this, Jack? Yamaguchi?
Is that the Yamaguchi?
Yeah, it's a Yamaguchi Venom, but the graphics of the box are so cool, and it's in Japanese. It looks dope, and I thought this was appropriate to show for Collector's Corner today. Even if before, I don't care.
I gotta be honest. I've been a little disappointed with some of these amazing Yamaguchi figures.
Really?
I've never had one before, and this is the only one I've had. This is the only one I have.
Well, I got Rich got the Deadpool one, and its arm fell off the second he opened it.
Well, that sucks.
And then I got myself a Wolverine one, which kind of fell apart the second I opened it. So maybe I'm better off leaving that one in the box.
Yeah, I'm definitely not opening it. So with that, why don't you take over, Jack? Take it.
All right. So I'm showing off two things. One thing I've shown before, and the other thing's new. This I've shown, but since we're talking about Venom, I figure let's take another look. Oh, let me
Secret Wars.
Nice.
Well, let's where are you? Get off this here. Let's take a look at this, because this is when we get the symbiote introduced for the first time. Secret Wars.
All right.
What year was that, Jack?
This is 1984. And so what's interesting about this is obviously there's a lot of talk about Tom Holland right now.
Yeah.
Dealing with the antagonist Noel in the next Spider-Man movie. And as you guys know, Noel is the King of Black, and not giving anything away, Noel is the villain who Tom Hardy is dealing with in the Venom movie. And so how does any of that work out? Who knows? But it's highly likely that what we will see, because you can't really have Noel without having Venom, and you can't really get to Venom until, well, unless you're Sony, you can't get to Venom unless Spider-Man goes through him first. So we're probably going to see Tom Holland in this suit in the next movie. That'd be my guess.
How are we doing this when no one knows who Tom Holland is right now?
Put a pin in that. I have a theory for that. We'll talk about it when we talk about Venom.
Right. Okay. And I will say that you'll notice all the commotion in the back that goes on with the Secret Wars, but shifting that activity to someone like Noel, you would
be right back, guys. I'm sorry.
You would need basically everyone involved. And the way the comic books went a couple years ago, when that character is introduced, he pretty much wipes out everybody. So he's a little more aggressive than even Thanos was to some degree, right? The guy is an unstoppable force. And the other thing I wanted to show and tell today was, and Chris, you were missing it, I got this comic.
Yeah.
This bad boy is graded at a 9.9.
Okay.
So 9.8 is usually what fair market value is based off of, and 10s are unicorns, and 9.9s are really freaking hard to come by. So this is really cool. Been real into crossover events. So we're looking at when the Justice League crossed over with the Avengers, and obviously we got this iconic
That's dope.
George Perez drawing of Superman.
Is the lightning like foil?
No,
like
I
it's
just
reflecting.
I have a wicked glare coming
Okay.
off the window over there. No,
Yeah, because
yeah,
as you're moving it, it's kind of changing, like getting brighter and dimmer.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool.
It would be cool if that lightning were foil. Yeah. So I'm still looking forward to this crossover event. And McFarlane, I'm talking to you. This would be a cool figure
Give
to
me
make.
that toy, baby.
Come on, man. Come on, man. And I've actually been working on kind of modifying a Superman to do this, but my problem is, yo, Chris.
Yo.
You got a 3D printer.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Can you make me a McFarlane size hammer and shield?
Of course.
Dude, now I don't gotta spend $30 to go buy hammers and shields that I want to spend.
But what if it's a new scope?
That's yeah, but it will be a new sculpt because Chris is gonna sculpt it fresh off the prints, and that's my show and tell item. This awesome 9.9 JLA Avenger mashup comic.
Since you brought it up, now we gotta ask, how much is it?
Yes,
that's a good question, and I actually don't know because even on Go Collect is where I get most of my pricing on it. There's no official price point for a 9.9.
Really?
So a 9.8 of this comic is, I think it's like 150. But usually they tend to jump pretty exponentially once you get into the
9.7, right? Like it goes crazy, right?
Yeah, 9 points. The difference between a 9.6 and a 9.8 can sometimes be as much as 2 zeros.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between a 9.8 and a 10 is can even be the equivalent of a couple of zeros.
Well, what's the difference between a 4.0 and a 4.6?
This is a car thing, but
I
don't
know.
know.
You think or hip hop had 30, 40 G's beat it? That even got leathers? Never mind.
Yes, this was very cool and enlightening. So, anyways, I don't know, but I think that it has the potential of being a pretty nice. I mean, I didn't pick it up for that much, so obviously you can purchase it for a relatively reasonable rate.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, I guess it's me, right?
Oh, you?
I got nothing to show, but you know what I'm going to show? I'm going to show off this shirt that I'm wearing because I bought it yesterday. Not yesterday. Last week, excuse me. I bought it last week and I got that other shirt that touched to my childhood. This one was right next to it. I'm like, let me grab it. So it's a Venom shirt, all for Venom. I was thinking ahead.
The Lethal Protector.
The Lethal Protector. Got it at Target, $14.99.
That's kind of high. I think I'm gonna have to buy that. That's pretty dope, actually.
Yeah, there was a couple of Venom shirts there. So I'm like, let me get this one because black is my color. And that's my show and tell. Sorry to disappoint. All right.
Who's disappointed? I like the shirt show.
The shirt show. And with that being said, Jack, you didn't show off your shirt. Is that Pokemon?
Oh, it's Team Mystic.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Matches my hat.
There you go.
I'm double mystified today.
Double mystified. All right. There it is. Listen. Let's get into these news. This
time
news.
For the news.
I don't know if there's anything juicy. Let's
Job
do
breaking
that
news.
thing. There we go. Have not been doing any of the top graphics, but it's all right. It's all right. We're gonna get there. Yeah, fill in the gaps wherever you guys have anything to fill in. First of all, I was literally just looking at this. Billie Eilish is interested in signing a major role. It's not really news, but Billie Eilish been catching my eyes the past couple weeks because my algorithm has been.
I know what you've been Googling.
I haven't been Googling anything. It just pops up. Okay. But I didn't know Billie Eilish was packing all that. But yeah, she is. But apparently she was in Barbie, right? Which I did not watch, but you watched, right, Chris?
I did watch it. The
And
cautionary tale: What happens if you ignore men's needs?
this is correct. I believe that. I believe this. And she was also in. Well, she's also in Swarm. It's a cult video. She's in the episode. She's played cult leader Ava.
Oh,
Ava.
I watched part. I never finished Swarm.
Wait, I did what? Oh, that was Billie Eilish. Okay. All right. All right. All right. She got some acting chops. All right. Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. Interesting.
So what is the role she's looking at?
I mean, does it matter as long as she's showing off her goods, right? I'm sorry. That's wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were.
That's
I thought there was news here.
there's no act. She would just like to sign up for the universe. You know, she got to talk about it. I mean, there's a quote here. I'm like, whoa, 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 what the F are you talking about? This is my dream. So, that's pretty
So
much.
she's trying to gun for something like the Dazzler. Isn't Taylor Swift looking for that role?
Yeah.
Don't they already have a Dazzler? No. They got what's that?
They did. There was a camera pan past a Dazzler version of a Dazzler in a forest in one of
Can
those movies.
Taylor Swift act? Like, why are we just going to hand out roles to
Can't
everybody?
don't all singers get a chance at acting? Isn't that how it works? This industry.
I guess.
Sure it is.
That's your industry, Jack. Not ours.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of this industry, here's some news. Governor Newsom in California today went on record saying, finally, after like 2 decades of Hollywood running out everyone because of how tax crazy it is, he's offering tax breaks to filmmakers. They're going to offer significant tax breaks in Hollywood again to try to get films and other content to actually start shooting in the town. It's like, watch how crazy it is here. This is how crazy California is with the film industry. Something will be cast here. The actors will come from California.
Okay.
The director and the production company is doing pre-production in California and put together.
Mhm.
I've even built sets for some of these shows here in California, and it will all ship somewhere else,
To
like
Atlanta, right? To
Atlanta or something. And you're saying all these California actors, the damn set in which the thing is going to be staged on, and the production company have all left California to go shoot in another studio. It's not like they're shooting on location. They're shooting in a studio lot. All because California is not giving damn tax incentives
Well,
to
it's
filmmakers.
California. California is tax.
Yo, man, it's insane. But it's gotten so bad in the last decade that literally the whole industry is fleeing. Like, it's cheaper to fly to another country and shoot some of this stuff
That's ridiculous.
than it is to shoot here.
That's
Like
ridiculous.
all the CW stuff. Here's what's nuts about the CW stuff. The majority of it is shooting in studios.
Yeah.
So it's not like the interior of a studio is not like that different than the interior of another studio. It's crazy, man. It's so crazy. So, anyways, he's gone on record to go, "Hey, man, we're initializing some pretty big tax incentives. We'll see how that turns out today."
Yeah. See how that turns out. I mean, I wish y'all the best of luck, right?
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
No, listen, it's imperative. It's like Netflix went from having, I don't know, 50 things shooting in California to having 3 things shooting the next year. It was so extreme. Anyway, so that's a bit of news.
That's a bit of news. A little bit more Spider-Man. Spider-Man 4 officially has a release date. It is July 24th, 2026.
2026.
2026, and it's actually going to be coming out a few weeks after Avengers Doomsday, which comes out May 1st of that year. And as we all know, Tom Holland. Wow, Holland. Tom Holland will be reprising his role as Spider-Man, and maybe we might be getting some secret war in there, according to Jack. I don't know.
Well, Holland's gone on record saying he wants to introduce Miles Morales.
Okay.
Which the only way that even remotely makes sense is if Spider-Man is donning some sort of other symbiote costume and is out of the picture. But now it seems like you're cramming so much into this storyline, and we've seen how that hasn't worked well for movies in the past.
I'm not 100% on it, but isn't when Miles Morales is introduced? This is now like an older Spider-Man, though, right?
Yes, it should like Tobey Maguire age would be more appropriate to
Right.
introduce a kid Spider-Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tom Holland, even if Tom Holland's is technically getting older, he's still playing very young. You know?
Yeah, he still looks like a kid. He looks like a kid.
But hey, man, it's a blessing, Tom. Don't be upset about that. You look good.
Yeah. Speaking of news about Marvel release dates, you know what release date got dropped?
Was that
Blade. So Blade originally had a release date. Yeah, Blade originally had a release date. It was on the schedule. It's been dropped from the schedule.
Well, you know why?
Yeah, well.
Because
All right,
there's only one
Blade.
That's well. Here's some
real news. Okay.
Yep. Here's some Blade related news. So yes, Blade was taken off. It looks like it's been replaced, and what it's being replaced with is Midnight Suns.
Oh.
Okay.
So they're looking at doing a live action adaptation of Midnight Suns, and they're looking at putting Snipes in the role of Blade instead of doing a reboot of Blade with Mahershala. And the issue they're having with the casting right now for Midnight Suns is they seem pretty sold on the idea of having Snipes back in the role, but they don't want to put. It seems like the word on the street is they don't want to put Nicolas Cage in the role of Ghost Rider. So they're looking at other Ghost Rider options, and they're considering the guy from the TV show.
What's wrong with Nicolas Cage?
I didn't say there's anything wrong with Nicolas Cage.
He's doing. I mean, he's working with Sony on the Spider-Man Noir.
Well, speaking of Nicolas Cage, we've gotten some Spider-Man Noir photos. Which
let me show them. Let me find them because they're pretty dope. Give me 1 second.
I saw only one with a stunt man.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty good.
But it tells you it looks.
Oh, I got a video. If you guys want to see, Leaks and Rumors is showing me a video.
Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah, let's see that.
Here we go.
While
you saw it here first, not first, but first here you saw it.
Did you all know if it wasn't for Ava Longoria, we wouldn't have gotten a John Wick?
Really? So not only
before it was like 24 hours before they were about to shut the doors on everything, she invested $6 million that saved the movie.
Really?
And if it wasn't for her, we would have gotten the gem that is John Wick. So she is a national treasure in my mind, and she's not as well.
And how is $6 million the difference between?
Listen, sometimes you just need $5 to get the money that you need to do what you got to do. All right, where it comes from, right? I don't know. This is what you know. I don't know this. This is your world.
I'm constantly confused by price tags on things. Usually, it comes to mismanagement, and poor choices.
Yeah. You got that? You got that video?
I'm trying, but I don't know what the hell.
And he's out.
He just booted himself. All right. We're also getting. Oh well, no, it's not. We got a Romulus sequel in the works, which I'm scratching my head on how we're doing that because maybe I need to go back and rewatch it. But didn't she die?
No,
she did.
Romulus? Alien Romulus? No. She put herself in the pod. Her cyborg friend are gonna land on the planet
where he's not allowed. Yes.
Now, also in other Romulus news, there is a comic book being released, Alien Romulus, and it's going to, I think, expand on that story specifically, or it might be a prequel version to the story leading into it.
All right. We got some promo art. Let's see if I can pop this up and not kick myself. We got promo art for the character for there we go. Nope, that's not it. Nope. There it is.
I'm pretty sure that's Chris. Oh,
that's Chris. No, that's Chris. So we got promo art for the Brave New World, and it's just Sam Wilson or Captain Falcon America.
Yeah.
Can you give me an explanation of why this Negro can jump around and throw this thing like through walls and stuff?
You mean when did he get super serum?
Yeah. That's
Because
exactly what I
black.
want.
We jump higher. I don't know.
Because we have an extra bone in our ankles.
We got extra.
Someone told me that in all seriousness one time. That
What?
The reason why you're good at sports and the reason why I can do this is because you have an extra bone in your ankles that lets you jump higher one time.
That's great.
Was this why when you were in school?
Yeah.
This happens.
This sounds like exactly what some kids would say to each other.
Oh man. That being
They
said,
gave him a grown up too.
This looks good, man. I gotta be honest. This looks good. It doesn't make sense, but it is how it kind of plays out in the comic books. I mean, that's the costume we see.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like someone's going to be a Joaquin. I'll say that right. Joaquin Torres is going to be picking up the old wings and reprising, or not reprising, but taking up the role as Falcon. Is that a thing in the comic? Is someone else?
I'm sure. I mean, most of these characters have other people who pick up the mantle and wear it. You know.
Okay.
I mean, how many freaking Batmans do we have?
Yeah, true.
True.
Chris, you got that thing?
Yeah, let me show it to you. Here we go. So let me start from the beginning. So this is a scene of Spider-Man Noir on top of Stuntman on top of a car.
Yeah.
And then
I see what he did there. He shot a web. And he's shooting another web, and he probably jumped off there.
Yeah.
This might be pretty cool. The costume looks kind of cool.
Well, it's Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah.
Look at the set. Looks great. Just big green CGI set waiting to be expanded on.
Yeah.
Shooting a web. Okay. All right. Oh, we got the drone. I'm loving how drones just being implemented into everything now. It's great.
Yep.
Except for war. That's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying.
Terrifying. Yeah. We'll talk about that when we get to the debate. I got some other comic book news.
What you got?
What you got?
We got some other comics dropping. There's Halloween themed stuff. There's Godzilla Monster Theater.
Okay.
I mentioned Alien Romulus. Let me see. Actually, I have some pictures I can show you guys.
Well, you did pull up some pictures. The Mandalorian Grogu has wrapped, and we got a release date, or at least a month and year, which is May 2026. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're jazzed to go to the theaters to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't lie to me.
Yeah.
Don't lie to me.
Why we could just finish it on
Disney Plus? Yeah. I mean, but yeah. While you're talking about monsters, they showed well, they didn't show, but they said you kind of get an idea of who Superman is going to be fighting in James Gunn's whatnot. Is his villain's going to be Lex Luthor with a baby kaiju? So there might be a small kaiju of sorts in there.
Who would be the kaiju? What?
I don't know. It's a small monster that he probably made. This is coming from a list of the toy line that's going to be released. So,
but you know what though, the toy line is some of the most accurate stuff because they model their toys after actual characters, and a lot of leaks we get are from the toy lines.
Yeah, and I don't have any pictures of it because they didn't have any pictures. It was just everything. It was just a list of the toys that are coming out for the James Gunn movie. So otherwise, I would have posted pictures up for you guys to enjoy.
It's called Baby Kaiju.
It's Baby Kaiju. Lex Luthor. It's going to be paired off with Lex Luthor. It's going to be Lex Luthor and with Baby Kaiju.
Huh.
All right. Here's DC Horror Comics present.
Oh, what's happening there?
Exactly. Happy Halloween's what's happening there. It looks like Spider-Man covered in like razor spider webs, or Superman covered. That's your Alien Romulus is dropping. Cool. The comic.
Okay.
And that's gonna be, what comic line is this? Oh, Marvel's picking it up. So Marvel's doing that.
Nice.
IDW is doing Godzilla Monster Theater Which I think this is great. If you really kind of examine this picture, you've got all these classic monster film characters in it. You got the time machines in there, Sherlock Holmes, Great Gatsby. So there's a lot of fun little Easter eggs. I think this might be a fun read. Like that's Sherlock Holmes in the corner here.
Nice.
Then you got this DC's dropping this new version of Wonder Woman, and check out her sword, man.
Like Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I mean, that's straight Final Fantasy. Just add some damn materia in there and you're good to go. Start casting magic.
Yeah.
Dude, if that's not the Buster sword, though. If that's not the Buster sword.
Show them quads. Let me see what our quads looking like.
Yeah, they're looking healthy. They're looking healthy.
Yeah, they are.
And then we have this Superman trick or treat, trick or treating comic. So it should be some good, comic books always kind of drop some fun stuff around the holidays and different holidays. So be no different this week.
So I found that toy list, just so you know I'm not a liar. And there it is right there, baby kaiju.
Huh.
The theatrical deluxe. This is McFarlane, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
So, yeah.
And look what else it says. Ultraman.
Ultraman, yep.
Superman movie Metamorpho.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's an actual kaiju. So that's going to be a bigger version of it. So the monster gets bigger.
Got Green Lantern Guy Gardner. Now we get into the superpowers.
Yeah, but look at that Metamorpho in the movie, huh? She-Craft,
Yeah, but Ultraman, I mean that answers those questions about who you're dealing with.
Yeah,
that's the main villain.
So what be about? It wasn't Ultraman like alternate universe guy?
Yes, Ultraman is the evil Superman.
Right. But then how? What are they gonna do? They're gonna do yeah. I see Ultraman. They have the syndicate and stuff like that. I know about that.
So what I think they're probably doing it, and I could be wrong, but in this movie, that means because Ultraman's running around with Luther Maxwell Lord, so Ultraman is either Superman, evil Superman from an alternate dimension, come here to. Ultraman's whole thing is he's going around the multiverse killing Supermans.
Yeah, it's like Jet Li the One.
Yeah.
Then they show a picture of Ultraman, or at least someone that looked like he had a U on his chest, but he was dressed in all black. He looked like
No, that's exactly who this is, and there's been a lot of speculations whether that character is Ulysses or Ultraman or what's up with that. But clearly now we know it's Ultraman. If the toy list is telling us it's Ultraman, then there you go. That's spoiler alert. It's Ultraman, which makes sense, and also makes sense why he's masked up. So there you go, Ultraman.
That's the U too.
Yeah, and we saw some wire work being leaked of that character, so we know the character had power set that seemed comparable to Superman's. And it would be if it's just an alternate Superman. Now, what we don't know is whether this movie's taking liberty to say that it's that Ultraman version is maybe a test tube thing that Luther created, or if they're going, it's all intergalactical or multi-dimensional, which makes sense too, because we know James Gunn is about to drop content with a bunch of Green Lanterns, which means you're getting into sci-fi surrealism stuff on top of it just being comic book in the first place.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right. Got anything else?
I'm good.
All right. Do you know what? Listen, y'all, Chris.
I'm here, baby. I'm here for it.
All right. I need you to focus up real quick because you're smiling a little bit too much. Jack is also smiling way too much.
Jack, it's real life.
All right. Listen, we about to get into this debate or maybe a slight discussion. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's get into the debate.
Let's get ready to rumble.
We got a double debate?
Get that? Is it? It's a double. I mean, yeah, we got 2 questions. Now, unless we want to just shave down to one, we can save the other one for later.
Sure, pick one.
No,
Pick one.
let's double it up.
Oh, you want to double it up? Jack wants a threesome out here. Okay, got it. The first one, okay. Your choice of superpowers. You get superpowers, right?
Right.
I want to know what you're going to do with these superpowers, right? Here's your selection: super strength, telepathy, telekinesis, controlled invisibility, and controlled teleportation. So you can control where you're going. You're not gonna teleport into a building or into the mantle of the earth. The caveat is you only have, and I'm gonna give you 2 calendar weeks, 14 days. You only have 14 days. Once you have these things, you got 14 days to use them, and then you're done with them. So you're not gonna be stuck with them for the rest of your life. What powers are you using, and what you gonna do with them?
So wait, so are we trying to see what we can the most effect we can have in the 2 weeks?
Sure. I mean, it's whatever it is that you want to do with them. Because I know what you would do if you had powers for the rest of your life. We already know. You would take over the world. I mean,
I'm still trying to figure out how I can use these 2 weeks to set myself up to take over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, if we're being honest, it's the wrong powers to pick from here, Rich.
Are they?
Yeah, because I think it's tough. Because if you said, listen, you can have any superpower you want, you get to pick it, but you only get it for 2 weeks and then you get none. I've got an answer to that question. But I only get to pick between those four powers.
Because it keeps it interesting, Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess so. It's
You only
like if it were a
only
little
got 2
more
weeks to use
open.
them. No, there's no openness here. This is the confines of the question.
Here's my
Because
thing.
I would want to choose something like time travel for 2 weeks. If I
You
could
ain't got-
time travel
You
for
ain't got
2
that.
weeks,
You ain't got that. It's not there.
that's tough.
Let me ask you a
So
question.
maybe
If I use telepathy,
Yeah.
and I like wipe people's minds, the effects stay for can the effects stay forever? Or they
Okay.
can stay for 2 weeks?
Good question. The effects of everything that you do with your powers, they're permanent. You just don't have the powers forever. You only have the powers for 2 weeks. So everything you use your powers for, they stay. So if you go up and robbing banks, you are forever a bank robber.
Okay, so this is an easy answer. Then it has to be telepathy.
Okay.
Because then I could spread as much of my influence around, and hopefully those 2 weeks I'll have touched and convince enough people to follow me where I can take over the world, or at least make my move and take over a small country.
like Latveria.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I think you're right though, because if it were open ended, and I'd be like, I'd fly around for 2 weeks. I'd be happy with flight. If I'm trying to set myself up, let me have something where I can go figure out the next 10 lottos and set myself up where I have generational wealth. You're right, man. If it's the power set that he's listing that we got to pick from, and we're looking to try to set ourselves up in a way that's substantial, it's got to be telepathy, because telepathy means wealth. Super strength's not going to get me wealth.
No, super strength, you'll be the baddest guy on the block, but you're thinking
For a week.
For
a week. Then who do I really want to go pick on?
Right.
Exactly. I want to make things better.
Right.
And so the only way to make things better
is to put me in control and have me rule the world.
That's right. No, you're kind of right, because now, and if I have like influence over people, then maybe we can end some of this just wiping people out for no good reason kind of stuff that goes on every day.
Yeah.
Like, can we stop that?
We could.
At least for 2 weeks.
Well, telepathy, you don't necessarily. You can't influence people with telepathy.
Yeah, you can.
What kind of you didn't say telekinesis. It's not like I'm lifting objects. Telepathy is I'm messing with mine. I'm Charles Xavier here.
Right. So I'm going in and and I can take this any 2 weeks, right? So I can say, okay, the last 2
weeks.
No, the last 2 weeks of 2026, I'm going to have this power. So I'm going to be planning and building my infrastructure as much as I can, so that when those 2 weeks hit, that's it. My plan is executed, and I'm rolling my stuff out, and then
you're making stuff up, but it will go with
What?
it. Rich will take. So, Rich, what do you pick, man? What would you pick?
I would pick teleportation. Like I'm a little more practical. I'll be teleporting just wherever I want to go. Like if I want to visit, Japan, which would be my number one spot, I'm gonna go visit Japan for a couple of days.
Yeah, but
Chill out
watch
there.
this. You going to Japan, which really you need a couple of weeks just to properly visit Japan, but you only got the power for a couple of weeks, so you're gonna only visit for a couple of days.
So I'm just I'm gonna do like a couple of days here, a couple of days there, a couple of days. I'm just gonna be teleporting all over the place.
So really, you're just giving yourself
the
a
big vacation.
2-week vacation where you're jumping, but you're not really got the financial capital to do whatever you want in Japan.
I mean,
Where if you set yourself up,
Listen, I have enough money here. Like I got my vacation days, I get my paid vacations. I got money. What are you talking about? I'm not going there to rule the world. I'm just going to have a vacation. A couple of, I mean, what you gonna do for a couple of days? Eat a couple bowls of ramen, look at a few things here and there. You're not spending bank. I'm not, and it's not like I'm doing a hotel. Like I'm just gonna boom, pop in, do what I got to do for the day. I'm gonna come home and sleep in my own bed, pop back in there, do some more stuff.
well, if you're going to Japan for ramen, there's a place in Saitama you should teleport yourself to. It was out of
I
this
will
world.
absolutely do that, or I would if I could.
So Chris is gonna rule the world, Rich gonna eat ramen, and Jack's gonna try to amass generational wealth.
I mean, I feel like Chris is kind of doing the same thing, but in a more diabolical way.
Yeah, much more. Okay, good. So we all lose on this one. What's the next debate?
I feel like I win. I feel
like Rich. We're taking over the world. Jack's gonna be rich forever, and you just went on a really, really fancy vacation.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? That he paid for.
Yeah.
He just didn't have to pay for flight.
He just ain't got to pay for flight. That's your biggest flight and hotel is your biggest expense when you're traveling. What are you talking about?
That's true.
There you go.
Okay. Wait, Rich, I'll say this. Japan is actually doing a promotion. They were last week. It might still be going on right now, where they're paying for your travel if you book a hotel. So if you're a tourist flying to Japan to do touristy stuff and visit, they're paying for your travel.
Really?
They want to get foot traffic there. Yeah.
Really?
That's not bad.
Yeah.
They're having problems with foot traffic?
I'll see if I can find the link. So you still have to put in the travel time. It's probably about 12 hours. You're not going to teleport, but the cost equivalent is about the same as teleporting. And you still got to pay for a hotel, which your teleportation was going to pay for the hotel anyway.
Oh, no. That's different. No, they're offering free domestic flights. So when you're in Japan, you can travel free between Japanese airports.
Oh, I mean, still.
Nah, you might as well get the bullet train. Bullet train's like $200 and you can go anywhere. It's fun. Traveling on the train in Japan is great. You see the whole.
It's like that movie.
Bullet Train. There's no explosions on it. Brad Pitt's not hanging out.
Okay. Listen, whatever. I think I won. But let's move on to the next one. All right. And I kind of preface in like a whole little thing because I feel like I want to act today. Oh no! It looks like the world is beginning to go to shit. We're on the cusp of World War III, a potential civil war, and the price of eggs is nuts.
Oh no!
You know what will make it better though? An apocalypse. Which apocalypse do you think you would survive and how? Here's the thing. You start off exactly how you are right now. There's no prepping. There's no preparing. The apocalypse just starts happening.
But what if I have my prep already? What if I just prep in my regular life?
If you're already a prepper in your regular life, if you
whatever your prep.
Yeah, whatever your prep, yeah.
Whatever I got here, I got to roll with.
Right, exactly. That and also whoever you're with. So there's not like it's just you. If you got you got wife and kids, Chris, your wife and kids are going to be with you. You got to survive with them, right? If you got your in-laws with you, you got to survive with them. If you got roommates, you got to survive. Well, I mean, you don't have to survive with them. Yeah, you can make choices.
You finally got a reason to let them go.
Okay.
Rich's capping all his roommates. First thing he does.
All right. Here are the world scenarios. Okay. I Am Legend. Are we familiar with I Am Legend? Not the book, the movie.
Yep.
Okay. All right. World War Z with Brad Pitt, right? Running zombies, full sprint. Okay. Better be. Anyway. And 28 days later, not zombies, infected. Let's be clear on that. Infected, but still, they're fast.
Vampires?
No. 28 days later, no, they're not. They're affected by a rage virus.
Can I add one to it?
You want to go add one?
I think we should have, like robot overlord type thing. Whether that's
so like
I
iRobot, maybe,
yes, like
Terminator.
iRobot, like Terminator, yeah, stuff like that.
Okay, I say like I mean, I feel like they wouldn't be as effective because if we were like in a world of self-driving cars, they would be super effective. Where everything
look at where we're going.
That's where we're going, but we're not there now. We're not there right now, so it's not. I don't think that would really affect us too heavy.
Either.
I mean, what's the worst they could do to you now? Like mess up your credit and shut down your bank
account?
Yeah,
they can shut down the power, shut down the water. They can shut down everything.
Well, Skynet goes online. First thing it does is blows up the world, right?
True.
And then they start pumping out robots to oppress and quell the population. So.
Okay. All right. So you want to put in the...
And here's the other thing. What we have that didn't exist when Terminator first got made is we're all running around with GPS devices on us, so we wouldn't be that hard to find.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Let me see your case again. Are we? Oh no, we're similar. It's similar. Okay,
pretty close, though.
Pretty close. All right. Anyway.
Yeah. So I feel like with yeah, nice, Chris. Hey man, we still care about you. So I think actually be the robots that have a better advantage, especially with the way we know technology is currently in a uber exponential growth period. And the population is more transparent than it's ever been. Right.
Okay. All right. So you want to survive in a robot?
Oh.
Okay.
I tell you, robot is the last thing. I'd definitely rather do zombie over robot because I feel like if we play these scenarios out, robot overlords, and you were just talking about drones, like drone warfare. Jeez, man,
I mean, but those are being controlled by people still. So it's still crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys. Each one is terrifying, but the easiest one to survive in is I Am Legend. You can just go out during the day and not worry about nothing and board up your house at night.
But do you think you'll be able to get to that point where you boarded up your house? Because again, it's going to happen like right now. So like say tomorrow, you finish up work, you coming back from the facility or whatever it is that you hold cocaine in, allegedly. And you're coming home from work, and next thing you know, these monster things are like running down the street and like banging their head up against you. And they're not even monster things yet. Let's be for real. They're just people. They're just people bleeding from their eyes.
So let me ask you a question. When did Will Smith have time to turn his home into a fortress?
Plot holes? We don't know. Okay.
And the whole other thing about I Am Legend is he's really kind of like the only person on the planet for, as far as we know, up until the end of the movie, of course.
Yeah.
So it's like the virus had to skip over him in the first place. So we're assuming.
Well, I think he was immune.
The virus is going to skip over you because you're a survivor.
Right, but there's no survivors. He's the only survivor. That's why he's legend. Well, in the book, he's legend because he's actually, he is in the book, that character is the boogeyman to the vampire population.
Yeah.
He's the myth. He's the legend that they're all scared of because he's wiping them out.
Yeah.
I still stick with I Am Legend. I think I could have more luck, running around during the day that I could do stuff I could do enough work during the day to at least board up one room, make one entryway, make one room like safe, and then I could just expand the rest of the house as I go.
Okay. All right.
And really, you just need some UV light,
Yeah.
like a lot of UV light. And the good thing about the day and age we're living in is power batteries, generators, stuff like that. It's easier.
Yeah.
I think your problem is figuring out what the actual solution is to the problem. Because do we know going into it? Like, is this what's happened just now? Like, Rich the Wizard has said, "We're going to have an apocalypse. You pick which one it is."
Yeah.
And we go, "Okay, I am Legend." And so I already know what it is at jump, at what I'm trying to deal with.
Yeah, you know what you got. You know how to deal with it, but now you have to get everything you need to deal with it. Because you have what you have right now, so you can sit here and be like, "Oh, I can board myself up and have all these guns," but you barely have a slingshot.
I Am Legend's pretty good because you only got to survive the first night to really get the ball rolling.
Right.
Okay, all right, true, but they also don't factor in the human element because I'm pretty sure it'll be a human element to a degree.
There was always a human element, but
look at the other human elements. Zombie apocalypse, you're dealing with zombies, and the worst thing about most zombie apocalypse tend to be the human factor. True. If it's humans wipe out the earth, which we could be going in that direction too, then you're dealing with the humans. Also, that's so pedestrian. Like, let's get into the supernatural, right? Robots, they're 24-hour beings. You got no rest.
True, and if you're talking, I'm talking World War Z, and also 28 days later is different because they will die out after a while because they need food somehow, even though they don't eat people, but they still they tend to die out. World War Z, that's a different story. These are sprinting undead creatures constantly coming at you. They do not stop.
Right. And the book World War Z, they do tell you what the perfect weapon fighting off zombie hordes is. It's essentially a crescent sickle with a razor sharp inside where you can just get it around the neck and go whoop and pop the necks off. On a long rod.
That's the book. We're talking about the movie. The full sprinters, all right?
Yeah.
So we saw how that happened at the beginning. People absolutely not prepared for that.
No. Right? Yeah, of course you wouldn't be. But also I Am Legend, the beginning of that's pretty horrific too. I mean, it happens quick.
Yeah.
But we know that we're going to survive. And also the nature of the thing is, I think you're right, man. I think you just survive night one. You start slowly building yourself up. Start with a bunch of lights.
Okay. So I Am Zombie. I'm sorry. I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. It has to be I Am Legend.
I Am Legend, Jack?
Yeah.
You know what? You're right. I Am Legend. All right. Okay. All right.
I guess Chris won. He said it first.
Chris did win, right? Yeah. Whatever. Anyway. I mean, but then you also have a way out of it with 28 days later. You just kind of need to be quiet. And survive,
do you know you just need to keep down for? You just need to. I guess if you're choosing 28 days later, then you know you just need to hide low for 28
days. Just hide low for a few months, but you still need to go out there and get supplies, right? Because your supplies are going to run out after a while, especially if you're not a hoarder or a prepper like Chris. Your supplies are going to have to run out. You're going to have to go out there, and the thing about those infected, they'll just lay down and just chill until something comes by and stimulates them, and then they'll start running after you.
Yeah, that wouldn't bode well for me here in California.
Yeah, I mean, the more populated you are in a place, and it's definitely going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure you can go somewhere, especially like I can drive an hour and be in Fannin County, which is the boonies, and there's gonna be nobody around. There's gonna be no monsters there.
Yeah, but then what are you doing out there?
Surviving, Rich.
So you're building your own house?
No, you just go into someone else's house. They're probably dead, so you just go in and take it over.
Wow.
All right, Chris. I like it's just the simplistic. No, they'll be all right. They won't miss it.
Right?
All right. All right. Y'all talking Maximum Overdrive. First of all, how you doing, Corey Pearson? What's going on, Corey? Welcome. We appreciate you here. We are looking forward to the next story about Jack. Y'all talking Maximum Overdrive, AC/DC best film. What is that? What's that? Y'all seen that?
AC/DC did the soundtrack for the movie Maximum Overdrive, which I believe was Stephen King. It's about electronic devices that just start taking people out. A blender takes a person out in the movie. I was terrified about garbage disposals after this movie.
Oh,
and then of course there's a bunch of cars and trucks and
So before we get into the final thing, the scary part about AI that I was reading more about, it just fascinates me, is not our AI. It's the AI that's to be created by AI.
Oh, yeah, it's
already happening. AI, it's already happening. And here's what's crazy about that, Chris.
I feel comfortable now.
It's happening so fast. I think three instances already. The AI has created a new language that only it understands and can read. And I think it's happened like 3 times where, we people have picked up on it going, whoa, 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 whoa. And we've stopped it. But if it's happened 2 or 3 times, we know it's just going to continue to happen until we can't stop it. Because these things are also communicating with each other in itself at quantum speeds. So like once it's happened,
kind of like the Adeptus Mechanicus on Mars. Yes, you're right. The Empire,
right? That's exactly what I was getting at.
Anyway, because I was literally just listening to that, and they were saying how they talk, and to a regular person it seems simple, but to them they're communicating a vast amount of energy or information, excuse me, in like the smallest forms, like verbally that they can. And it's to the point where it's like they talk to the point where because they cut out, like, they don't have to breathe for pauses, they don't have to like really think like people do, they think like machines, so it's just quicker, and they got like the whole information to build a battleship, whereas for a person, you're sitting there years to learn something. Or even communicate. It's taking minutes to communicate simple things, and they're just like, boop, that's it.
Right. That's why we spend all our time distracted in life talking about comic books and stuff. We're like, this is easy.
But yeah, it's crazy stuff. The world's gonna be crazy, man. The world is getting wild.
Honestly, it probably wouldn't be so bad if robots ruled the place. You're like, just give me colorful images that move quickly, and I'm happy, man. I'll be your battery.
Jack wants a Wall-E situation where he's like in a chair. He's just in a chair. What? Huh? And the machines are doing all the stuff for him. Right? That's what you want?
Yeah, look at where we're headed.
We were kind of there already. We're distracted by screens and all this other crap right now. And then we got people delivering us our food. We're about to have machines deliver our food. Listen, I
was talking to a friend of mine just yesterday about this. It's like, it used to be, and I'm not making this up, and back in the 1600s, someone would go to a show and see something like Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet's on stage for the first time, and they would walk away retaining 75 to 90% of what they'd just seen. Now, we're about to talk about Venom. We're probably we'll be scratching the surface if we've retained about 15% of this movie, right? Maybe we get a quote or two in there. Well, yeah, but watch this. We'll get a quote or two in there. We'll talk about the general overview. We might even be able to pull in something interesting from the comics that we read. They'd go watch Hamlet and walk away with 80% of the thing memorized. That's how those things got written. These plays got written by the actors having portions of their scripts that they'd take in, or audience members walking into these publishers and reciting scenes because they'd seen it once or twice. Can you imagine like the level of tension, of focus and concentration that we used to have on a thing? Now we got TikTok and we're bored after a 10-second
Jack, they're
clip.
stupid because they can't order food with a click of a
That's true,
pad.
Jack.
Okay? They're dumb. They're dummies. All right. If I want something next day from Amazon, I got it. If I wanted something same day, I got it.
Go
They
watch
can't do
Drunk in the River because we're living in the future, baby.
You're right. I apologize. You're right. So speaking of Venom,
let's go on and get into the main event.
we're there, right?
We're already in it.
We into it, baby.
We're in it.
Oh man, I forgot. So yeah, we're talking Venom. Let's get to IMDb real quick because I'm sorry, Venom: The Last Dance. Let me put a little respect on its name.
What's some respect?
Last Dance. Chris, best movie
So
of the
far?
year?
This movie was
Yours
this movie was
just
a banger.
started,
I
huh?
don't know what you guys are watching. This movie, you laughed, you cried, delivered everything.
I cried all right. Venom: Last Dance. IMDb synopsis: Eddie and Venom on the run face pursuit from both worlds as circumstances tighten. They are compelled to make a heart-wrenching choice that could mark the end of their symbiotic partnership. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Venom: The Last Dance. First of all, spoiler-free, gentlemen. I mean, I think we already got there with Chris, but please tell us again. What did you think of it? Did you like it?
I love
Tell
it.
me. Yeah.
I loved it. Like unironically, I loved it.
You almost spit my water out when you said that. You almost got me there.
Okay.
It was so genuine. It was
I
so,
love Venom.
so
I
earnest.
love this movie. I thought this was great.
All right.
Oh, man. All right, let me be honest. I thought it was it was better than the second one. And I thought
Yep.
yeah.
You
Did I say I thought it was better than the second one? I thought it was better than the second one. I thought whether the second one ever happened or not, it wouldn't have changed this one one bit because it kind of didn't play off.
Yeah, the symbiotes were introduced in the second one, kind of.
Which didn't matter in this one
It
at all.
did. That battle, it did.
It did not. Barely.
Kind of not though, because there were other things that were introduced in the second one that didn't matter at all in this one, and like they totally disappeared by the time you got to this one. Spoiler free. I enjoyed it better than the second one. Did I say that? I said that 3 times already. So weird, man. Am I on a time loop?
What do you think, Rich?
It was something. It was something to watch from home. Like I honestly, if there was an option, I would have just waited to watch this at home when it came on something, probably Paramount Plus. I would not spend money. Good thing I didn't spend money. I would not have spent money to watch this because I was probably the only one in the theater that was upset watching this. I was just like, "What are we doing?"
People clapped in my theater.
That is absolutely insanity that you said that. No one clapped in my theater.
Who clapped in my theater?
I enjoyed
people were laughing at certain things, which
Tom Hardy is always enjoyable to watch. I mean, let's not get that twisted.
I feel like this is not the Eddie Brock that I was expecting. Even from the first one, this is not the Eddie Brock that I was expecting. I kind of wanted okay, yes, Tom Hardy is charming. He has a charm to him, but I'm expecting kind of like a begrudging like Eddie Brock that's like mad at the world because things were taken from him when he thought it was his. And then Venom latching onto this because they both hate something. And then it's like, yeah, that's what I wanted. Even from the first one.
Well, you kind of got that. That's where they come from. And it's that mutual disdain that brought them close together. It's very much a relationship driven.
He's grown. He's grown in the year he's been Venom.
Yeah.
A year. And it was wild that they recapped it. It was like, yo, we've been together for a year. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So if I could go back, I would not have watched this again. All right, let's pull.
I don't know if I'd watch it again in the theaters, but I also wouldn't discourage anyone from watching it. I'd say if you enjoyed the first two,
Yeah.
you'll
Oh
love
no,
this one.
listen. I'm just
And if
saying what
you,
this is me, Rich T. Wilson the fourth. You got my full government now. This is what I did not enjoy this, but if the
right,
people out there looking at this, all 5.2 of you, just go out
wow,
there and have a good time. Just leave your brain at home. Or what I'm always told, go in there with your 8-year-old brain,
You don't have to do
oh,
that.
let's talk about
Nah,
and
that.
nah,
and
nah,
you'll enjoy this.
you don't have to do that.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
spoil this
let's
So
thing.
get
we open up in the MCU.
We open up in the MCU. It's really just a recap of
Because
the last thing we
what movie
saw.
was it where he got sucked into the MCU
Spider-Man or Strange or something.
and then he gets sucked back? How did
This was the post-credit scene. We recapped on the
right?
post-credit
So
scene.
what happens is we open up in a bar in Mexico. He's still asking questions about superheroes. It was really a misnomer that they led us to believe like Spider-Man, 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 and then we get there, and then right away he asks a couple questions. A portal opens up, like a strange portal opens up, and he gets sucked back, and he's back into his world. Into his
But I was so confused. Was it a Doctor Strange portal? Was it Noel's portal?
it had to be
And what
a
was
strange
the portal? Of course, it had to be a strange portal because if it was a Noel's portal, it wouldn't have taken him to where it took him to.
Exactly. So now we're back in the Sony the Sony MCU,
okay.
Sonyverse, and
Well, his Sonyverse where no
right, and then
Spider-Mans
he's
exist.
being framed for the deaf guy, the guy who plays Al Capone in Boardwalk Empire.
Okay, can I ask you a question right off the bat? So we're gonna get into the Venom movie and the symbiotes and Noel's horde and all that stuff, which definitely happens in this movie. But can we recap on the second Venom movie for a second? Weren't there larger symbiotes coming to like take him out
Yeah,
or
there
something?
was.
What was
I
that
completely
part?
forgot about that.
Why did you
And
forget
where
about
did they
that?
come
That was
from?
the first-
What did you say? Wait, what did
That
he
was the
just
first
say?
movie that happened. Because the second movie was all about Carnage. The
That,
first
right. It was Carnage, the second movie. It was Carnage. Let there be Carnage. That's what it was.
Okay, hang on. So the first movie had larger
had the other
Venoms,
symbiotes who actually have names like Riot, Havoc, and like their actual.
Didn't matter.
right? And where did they come
from
from?
the planet, the space or whatever, but then they got
Right.
destroyed. But these scientists, like Lightning Zappy Lady and Christmas Lady, they've been saving the symbiotes they've been collecting their samples.
Since the sequel.
No, in this one. So
Right.
those guys,
Yeah, but they've been saving them. They've in theory been saving them
they didn't
since
ignore the
sequel.
fact that there were other symbiotes. Those other symbiotes.
And how did like Venom
Yeah.
was Venom, and then Carnage is like a horrifically evil version of him. He's the red version of him.
Scared of.
But now we got introduced to. Now I've read the comics, so I know where all these Venoms are coming from, or all these symbiotes. I'm sorry, all these symbiotes are coming from. But if I'm just looking at the movie, I'm confused because Carnage was evil, he was red, and now we get introduced to later in the movie we get like 6 other symbiotes who have all come out in the comics in the last couple of years. It had made their introductions. But none of them are necessarily bad in this movie. They're not like out for world domination.
They've reached. So we actually open up with Null, and we get the background of Null, who he is, and how he's the creator, and blah blah blah, this and that. And then what happens is because Venom died, I think Eddie Brock died in the second movie, and Venom brought him back. And because Venom brought him back,
wasn't that the first movie?
Was it the first movie?
Yeah, because that's when they fought. That's when they
Yeah,
fought
remove it.
the other
Okay.
symbiotes.
Okay, so that because that now he has like this key. I forgot what they called it in the movie.
The Codex.
The codex,
Codex.
that allows that, and if Null gets his hand on the codex, then that's his key to get out.
This doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. The Codex is embedded in Eddie, Brock, and Venom's intermixing only. When they're not intermixed, there's no Codex. And the Codex only exists because Brock died and Venom brought him back. But if Venom attached himself to any other symbiote
Like the
of
horse.
any living
But the
variety,
thing is,
horse, dog,
he can't
cat,
do it for
human.
too long because he does it for too long, he'll kill the host. Because the thing that was special about Eddie Brock and Venom, especially from the first movie and this movie, is that they can have a truly symbiotic relationship where they can both survive, merge. With the other people, he can merge with the other things, but for a short period of time. If he kills it, he merges too long, he'll kill it.
So you got to jump from host to host till he finds a better, a viable symbiotic relationship.
Right.
But then you wouldn't have the Codex overhanging you.
Well, but because Eddie Brock is his match, Eddie Brock is his soulmate. Jack,
You can find another one.
This is a
Just-
star-crossed.
But it's also not. But it's not only the end of them; it's the end of all things. So
Right.
doesn't that transcend the easy? And here's another thing I was really confused about. Venom knew just how insanely dangerous this was, and he knew when he saw Null's horde on Earth that they're closer than they've ever been in eons, and we have a codex on us, so this is actually really bad because we're not going to be able to fight off even one of his henchmen, let alone him. And there's thousands of his henchmen potentially, let alone him. And so we really don't want anything to do with this codex thing. And I don't know how we're gonna.
Let me dance with Mrs. Chu.
Let me dance with the missus? Yo, come on, let's talk about how little that scene made. And we knew that, listen, he understood that this horde creature thing can sense the codex from the other side of the planet, and it moves at like super speeds.
Like
so you're like
crazy fast. I'm saying like, wait a second. This
And
thing
it was a
just
brood, right?
jumped.
It was a brood, right?
exactly.
Yeah. They didn't call it brood. Why did they call it brood?
Well, it wasn't an X-Men thing. It looked like the X-Men brood,
It
though,
looked
didn't it?
exactly like the
Yeah,
brood.
kind of. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. That's what it looks like, but that's not what it is. It's I don't think that is what it is. It does. It actually did look exactly like part of that, though. It looked like the X-Men
It was
universe.
kind of dope how when it would eat something, it would shoot the blood in the back of the head.
Really disturbing. Yeah,
It was
really
like-
disgusting.
like a wood chipper.
I mean,
Which actually, I would appreciate that a little bit more if it wasn't destroying. I mean, not unless it was just a way to filter out everything and get the codex. I don't know, but if it was like just destroying the host and like saving the symbiote, so like the symbiote can be used for something else. I don't know.
I didn't understand that either.
Roxy,
What?
What's happening?
Oh, he's talking to his pup. Now, I'll tell you another thing I thought made no sense, and since Chris isn't here to defend it, let's jump around a little bit.
Yeah.
And near the end of the movie, there's this epic giant battle that's happening, and they're fighting this horde brood creature thing, which
Oh, they're fighting multiple now because at this point, like multiples have teleported in.
yes. And so Eddie, I've jumped to the end of the movie, Chris.
Okay.
So Eddie and Venom go, let's do this thing. And now mind you, at this point in the film, we the audience members have seen this creature go into the exhaust of a plane,
Yes.
thousands of feet in the air, be obliterated, rain its body parts onto the ground, and then pull itself together. We've seen it be blown up, shot, chopped up. We've seen it be destroyed in so many different ways that when Eddie and Venom finally decide to be heroic and face this thing after watching their symbiote siblings decimated by it and just being, a wuss in the corner, what they do is they grab helicopter propellers and they cut its head off. And I'm sitting here going, Why do they think that's gonna last any more than like 5 minutes? It's gonna maybe at best pause the thing. It's gonna pause the thing. And do you know what it did? It paused the thing.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here going, what? What was this moment they just created?
I don't know. These things were indestructible, and finally, like at the end, they.
What's happening? Are we bringing into reality of how this movie actually is?
No. That's the only thing I didn't like.
Is it dawning on you right now?
No. I still love the movie. I'm still rating it high.
Uh-huh.
I don't like, and this is the problem with Sebastian and I play with toys, especially when we play with the alien toys. Sometimes you have a bad guy who's so overpoweringly strong.
This isn't even the bad guy, y'all. This is
not.
the henchman.
Right.
This is the foot
Where do you go from there?
soldier to the bad
Right.
Right. The bad guy's such a bad guy that here's the biggest spoiler. They never even actually they barely introduce him. They certainly don't set him free. And so you're telling me Venom the Last Dance, and you're gonna pseudo make it about Noel, who was, like the biggest thing in the comic books at the time. The King in Black took out the entire universe when he finally got there. We're not even going to release him from his bonds. We're just going to mess around with one of his henchmen. And that's basically the whole movie is dealing with one of his henchmen.
Yeah. So they're saying up Noel, if just one of his henchmen is that strong, how strong is Noel going to be?
But we're not going to know because this was The Last Dance. Now, the MCU is going to pick up their version of a Noel, but they're not picking up this guy.
Yeah, they can't. Like, especially, like you said, the henchmen are they can't be stopped except with an acid bath. So it's almost like how are you going to make the small guys so strong, and then this guy's going to have he's going to come in and be like almost Thanos, like snap his finger, everything blows up.
Well, that's who they're setting him up to be, and that's why I think they made his henchmen so strong, because if his henchmen are that strong, imagine how strong the bad guy is.
Wait, but it doesn't matter because we're never going to see this again. This is The Last Dance, and Sony is not tethered to the MCU. So we're never going to see... This is why I don't understand this movie. They introduce a Thanos guy knowing that they're never going to show us him. He's still in prison by the end of the movie.
Right. But I wonder... It looks like they're working together, because there's rumors are that this is going to be it. This guy's going to leak into the MCU, and he's going to be the big bad in the MCU.
But why?
No, it sounds like... Listen, yes, it sounds like Tom Holland's villain is going to be Noel.
Right.
But it's not going to be this Noel. And so, essentially, it's just going to be a Noel.
It might be this Noel, though. It might be.
Whether it is or not, it's not... But
what
it's not going to be these henchmen.
We don't know anything about this Noel for us to be like, this is not that Noel. It's a different Noel. Because all we see is
what we do know is that they need the Codex, which is now destroyed. So how are we?
Well, the Codex is destroyed in Sony. Let's not get it twisted. There's Disney, Marvel, and there's Sony. And Sony is obviously they're doing their own thing. That's why they have Venom in the first place, and Morbius, and Craven the Hunter, and they're making all these villains anti-heroes because they have the IP. But it's not what's going on with the MCU. And so this is just another example where they're going to do whatever it is they need or want to do, and the MCU will do whatever it is they need or want to do. My question is, how do you do this story and not do the story? How'd you do this story and still not do the story?
Well, this story...
They did the Noel story with no Noel. It's like here's what they did to me, man. They looked at the ocean and they go, this is gonna be the most awesome swim, and then they dipped their toe in it.
Because that's how it starts. They're just setting it up.
But yes, I understand that. But hang on. But Tom Hardy there are no more contracts, and he's gone on record saying, "Hey man, I'm done after this one." So what do you mean they're just setting it up? They're not setting anything up because Sony's done with Venom. Tom Hardy Venom, Sony is done. So this Knoll has not been set up to come back. It's just done.
I don't know, Jack. I don't know. I'm hoping that they just pick it up in the MCU and somehow, some way, we get Venom back. And maybe get Venom in the MCU, which would be.
Corey Pearson says something interesting. He's calling it the Venomverse, which I guess is kind of accurate because Sony has Venom, not Spider-Man. So
Right.
it's not Spider-Verse. We're looking at a Venomverse. Interesting, Corey. So are we going to get a Venom Miles Morales?
Are we going to get a Venom Madam Web? I'm sorry. Listen, this movie. I'm not thinking about the grand scheme of things. I'm just focused on.
They're not thinking of the grand scheme of things either.
They absolutely not.
Well, okay, all right. So let's talk about this stuff. Tell me, it wasn't cool when he bit off the gang members' heads. It was cool when they were with all the symbiotes when they were in the Area 55. And the other people became symbiotes, and it was like the symbiotes fighting with the.
But did any of that make sense? Because one symbiote was the substance sequential of the mass of your finger, and the other one was the substance of like a 5-gallon bucket of paint, and they both completely took over.
Volume is their volume is like gas where they fill the space they're in. So
did you just make that up?
Yes.
What? What?
I'm sitting here going, I hear BS, but I hear it.
Oh, but listen.
Also, in the first movie and the second movie, there was a gestation period.
Right.
In this, none. I mean, we're talking instant, complete,
like
full-on.
Jim that was just trying to pay his daughter's tuition. He's instantly boom. That's literally the guy's name. His name is Jim.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's nothing. It's like, they were even Venom when he sat there and bonded with what's her name, Dr. Christmas. It was like, but then that was the same thing that happened on part 2 though, when Venom bonded with the love interest.
Right. But when Carnage bonded for the first time, there was a gestation period. When Venom bonded with Brock for the first time, there was a large gestation period.
Well, when you're in Area 55 and you've been tested and you're
55?
Yeah, no, 51 was on top, 55 was below.
I missed that part.
They were decommissioning Area 51 because it was just.
Speaking of Area 51, can we give Father of the Year award to Martin Moon?
Can we talk about Father of the Year award?
Like who gets rid of all their life savings to buy a van, take their whole family to go see Area 51?
A dude with a heart of gold, Rich.
No, just no. All types of no.
and then breaks into a military base to go to a guard tower?
With his children, gets up on a tower. This man is like looking around at the decommissioned stuff.
And then for a split second, his dreams are shattered. There's nothing here.
Yeah,
it's all a lie.
And then it's even worse.
He was 2 seconds from becoming an insurance salesman. 2 seconds away, and then all of a sudden, bam! Blows up. The broom comes out, and he's like, "I was right."
Yeah, and I was talking to Jack about this off camera, but before, like just all of the slow motion kind of just like facial expressions and the camera panning around, like something was about to happen.
Yeah,
like it was just what like why do we have so many? Like every character had something happen, and it's like okay, something's gonna happen. Like Dr. Christmas, when she walked down and looked at Venom, slow camera pan, like. Venom's going to bond with her. Okay, and then when Martin Moon gets away, they're gone. He's ready to get into the van, and drive away. He pauses, stupid expression, slow camera pan, like he's going to go back in there. He's probably going to die.
And where did he get that rocket launcher?
I don't know.
Where did that come from?
On the floor. So
freaking pacifists that don't need meeting, but he's using a rocket launcher.
he rose to the occasion, Rich. That's what happens when you're in these situations.
Yeah,
This movie was fun, but it wasn't good.
It wasn't good.
It was fun. Listen, there were some fun moments in it, but it wasn't good. And the other thing that made it not good is it actually paid no homage to the rules that are set up for the symbiotes in either the two predecessor films.
And plus, I'm telling you, everything was accelerated because they've been tested on for a year.
That doesn't mean anything. That means nothing.
Yeah, no, he's right. Let's give it to him. Yeah, you got me on that one. All right, so that was Venom.
That was.
Have we talked about the movie yet? I guess that's
it. I mean, really. I mean, look. I would tell you what. Yes, with their problems with it, yes, but it doesn't make the cardinal sin to me. It's not boring.
It's not boring. It's just boring. I mean, it's not boring. It's not boring. So here's the whole. I'm gonna recap the whole movie in like 3 sentences. Here we go. Eddie Brock is on the run. He's a man on the run, fugitive. He's washed up. He's been pissed on. They have the Hudson Hawk running gag, only instead of a cappuccino, it's he can't get a pair of shoes to stay on his feet for more than 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Him and Venom are real close BFF. This is basically a buddy film traveling movie, you know, where you have there's always these movies where the guys are traversing America to get from one location to the next. They get it in their head they're going to go to New York City to see the Statue of Liberty.
I was getting mixed signals from Eddie because I was getting through the whole movie that he just didn't want to be anything with Venom. Like especially when they were in the Moon's car, he was just like, "Listen, I just want a family. Like, like it'll be good if it was just me in a family. Not it was us in a family." Like he seemed like he didn't want anything to do with Venom. But Venom was like, "Yo, this is us."
I didn't read. I read the exact opposite. I felt like he fully accepted Venom, and he's like, because when he woke up, when they separated, he was like, buddy, and he's like looking for him.
Which didn't make sense to me because the whole movie, he was like, "Yo, you're being a pain in my butt."
That was the first movie. This is the third movie.
He was still giving the same vibes.
It's very similar.
I read bromance all over this.
It was different. Yes, this was definitely a bromance film. They were trying for it. There are similar vibes though. Well, I was confused. Isn't Venom supposed to be like sustaining Brock? And Brock seemed very haggard throughout this entire film.
Well, he's just hung over from drinking.
The entire film doesn't he going to metastasize it faster?
Letting him experience the results of his choices. There are effects when you do things, Jack.
You were making up stuff again.
You're really just making things up. Like it's just.
But that's kind of how I felt like the film went, Rich. It's like they just kept making stuff up as they were going.
On the fly, as they were going. They were just writing the script as they were filming it.
Right. And so then Noel is introduced. We find out they introduced the mulligan of the Codex. And then there's a horde that has a portal not only through space and time, but interdimensional multiverse time as well. And one of them gets sent to Earth, and it instantly locks on to Eddie and Venom because.
Right. So with that being said, if his henchman has portals that can take them out of the entrapment that he's in, why can't he just get into one?
He needs to unlock where he's in. He's locked into wherever he's at.
But how is he locked in though?
Magic.
He just is.
Oh my god. Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is better than Joker too.
I mean, listen, if you're going to compare it to that, then
can you even call that movie Joker? I don't think you're still allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Nope. Anyway, no spoiler on that one.
Did that already.
So then this horde creature locks onto them, and now he's on the run from this intergalactical beast thing sent by Noel. Venom instantly knows who Noel is. He instantly tells Eddie who Noel is. He instantly tells Eddie how to avoid unlocking Noel, and then systematically does the thing that they're not supposed to do at least 3 more times
Listen,
after telling them how to avoid it.
That Mrs. Chen dance scene was an absolute need in this movie, okay?
I mean, what was that about?
I love her.
What was that about?
She got the penthouse, baby.
Right. So Venom so clearly expresses to Eddie that if I fully take over you, our codex is going to radiate and it's going to send an instant tracking beacon to this creature that we've already seen and we know we can't take out. And it's going to be on us in a matter of seconds. So then he randomly runs into the lady and she goes, "Dance with me, big guy." And Venom goes, "Yeah, I think I'm going to do that." They're in Vegas. They're in a penthouse suite. Let's do it. And so he turns into full Venom, and they have a dance montage for 5 minutes as the creature almost instantly locks onto him and then goes, wipes out half of everybody and puts everybody in jeopardy.
Yeah.
It was worth it. It's the last dance.
It was worth it.
You gotta have to
Dance.
the last dance, Jack.
Literally the last dance. And then there's finally the big battle sequence. So they get to Area 51, and there's a family who's traversing the desert because they want to break into Area 51 to see aliens that make no sense. And Eddie gets taken to Area 51 because there are aliens there. And then he wakes up and they've somehow extracted Venom out of him.
Well, they use sound waves.
They hit him with a sound wave and it blasted Venom off.
They got Venom before he was able to recover, and then they tased Eddie, brought him to what you say, Area 55 is what it's called.
Yeah, Area 55, 100 stories underground.
That's irrelevant at this point. So they bring him, the Moon family, because again, Father of the Year. He's like, oh, let the kids just go break in. Mind you, the son, who was like, yeah, let's just crawl through this hole. Going to break in. We're jumping on top of this tower. We're looking at a desolate. Here's the thing. The reality of it, Area 51 is too. You can't even get to the base. You can barely get on the road to get to the base before
the reason they were able to get to it in this movie, Rich, is because they were decommissioning it in 3 days. And so the kid just happened to find a part of the fence that was open. He crawled in. Daddy's like, yeah, let's go. Wife is like, sure, I'm an enabler. And the other daughter's like, yo, man, family of the year. I guess we're doing it. But the dog wanted nothing to do with it.
Nothing. The dog was the smartest one of that whole family. He was like, I'm good.
Dog was like, I'll stay in the van.
So they get there. Things are happening in 55. The what we're calling the Brood, the henchman, whatever, makes his way in.
Jeffrey Miller in the house.
Jeffrey Miller, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome.
He's vicariously watching the movie through this discussion. Yes, that's good because Chris is reliving his most palpable moments in the last week through this discussion, and Rich is being drugged through the mud in it.
First of all, we knew what was going to happen. Like I said, we had one of the moments where Dr. Christmas, what was her name? No, her name was Sandy Christmas. So yes, Dr. Christmas.
Her name was Sandy Christmas.
It was Sadie. I kid you not, it is Sadie Christmas. I am looking at the cast right now. Her name was Sadie Christmas. It wasn't even like a joke because he was wearing a brooch. She was wearing a brooch.
Well, she wearing the brooch because her name is Christmas. Okay, I get it.
No, she wore the brooch because her grandmother made it for her.
Because her last name is Christmas.
Stupid. It's still stupid. Either way, Dr. Christmas was sat there and saw the fact that Venom was acting.
She's related to the Expendables character?
Yes, Lloyd. No, she's related to Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber.
Okay, all right.
I hate everything about everything you make up. You know that? Like, with such confidence too. Such confidence and doesn't waver. Anyway. So she looks at Venom and realizes, oh, Venom seems to be acting weirder. We get the weird pan thing. So it was like, oh, well, she's up to something. And of course she is. The thing comes down, they're actually going to shoot because Strickland came in and he was like, listen, we're doing this. my way. You have no control of this anymore. So Dr.
He
Lightning
turns very mustache twirling very quickly.
Well,
Yeah.
his people died, Jack.
Yes, I get it. So the other thing that's established in the Area 55 underneath 51 is that there are 6 other symbiotes in some sort of weird
Payment glass thing.
and
low gravity tube.
Yeah, it wasn't even a glass. They were in open air, but like lights were kind of keeping them there.
It wasn't lights.
Oh,
it was
maybe it's like a
Yeah?
sound tube.
No, hold on, stop. What was it, Chris?
it was technology.
Okay, I thought you were gonna come up with something better than that, but all right.
Should have said something like a sound wave barrier.
Yeah.
So we have these other symbiotes which don't really matter, except that we're talking to one who was a lizard of some sort. What did he have a name?
The green guy.
Yeah.
The green guy.
So
Mind
these
you,
symbiotes are all colored, which is actually kind of what
first of all,
happens. in
that's
comics
racist.
in the last
Second
couple
of all,
well, and the white guy said it. He saw it how he sees it.
that's very problematic. All right. But keep going. What
Well,
are you going to say?
3 colors and a shot of milk.
Nah, but wow. Nah, but if you look at the Venom comics, you got Carnage is red.
You got Riot.
There's they introduce a yellow Scream Venom symbiote. There's a green one. They're all colored. They're all different colors, and you have no idea why.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like why?
Because
It's not like the lanterns, like you got.
It's just different. It's just reasons, Jack. Reasons.
Right,
So
reasons.
in
Yeah.
this one, we had Agony, which was the purple color one. That was Pain's symbiote. I'm sorry, not Pain. No, Pain. Yeah, Pain, the Lightning Lady, Dr. Pain,
The lightning lady.
which is exactly
Right.
what her symbiote was. It was like she got like speed kind of.
Lightning. She was
yeah.
a lightning symbiote.
You had Agony. No, that was wait, what? Right, that was Agony. Lasher, which was the green one that Christmas had. You had Phage.
That was dope.
Yeah, you had Phage, who Jim. First of all, the name that I thought of him when I saw him bond with it, I was like, yo, John just wanted to like pay off his daughter's tuition, and his name is actually Jim. I'm just like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Not that far off. And then you had the 2-headed symbiotes, who were 2 separate symbiotes,
Right.
who merged into
That
one,
mashed up.
which I now have an issue with because those are 2 separate human beings now being merged into one body form, but with 2 heads.
Sure, they didn't like it either.
Yeah. And then
But also it raises a lot of questions. Like, if that made them more powerful, why didn't all of them merge into a giant entity to fight this thing?
I don't know. I mean, reasons, I guess. And then you had Anti-Venom, which they showed real quick.
The white one.
Yeah, and she died. They died. I mean,
Well, they all
died
except
for what, 3? 2 of them? 2 of them died? Didn't die?
Christmas and the green one.
Right.
Yeah.
Christmas and Lightning.
Zappy. Zappy.
But it was like, why introduce these guys in the 11th hour of the film just to toss them onto the trash as quickly as they'd come out?
Cannon fodder. That's why.
That's what it was.
Crazy.
And
Like,
then
I'm still mad about Jim. I'm like, Jim literally was just paying off his daughter's tuition. That's why
No,
he took the job. And the
we got
pension.
you.
The pension was great.
Guys, I got a hard stop. I have to go pick up food.
What?
When's your heart stop? Right now?
Have
Right
to
now.
deliver.
Well, let's wrap this up.
Let's
What's
wrap
your let's rank it. What's your rank,
I'm gonna
Chris?
give you
say
guys
10.
7.
That's
That's actually way more fair than I was expecting you to say.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a 10. It's not an 8, but it's a 7. I loved it. Look, I loved it. I had a good time. It was fun. It wasn't boring. It had its problems, but look, I didn't go in expecting, Flaming Young. I went in expecting a Big Mac, and I got a Big Mac, and I'm satisfied.
Yeah,
sure.
I hear.
Sure. Jack, where do you have this at?
Oh, 5.5. 6 maybe.
5.5. Wow. Okay.
Listen, I enjoyed the movie, and don't get me wrong. I thought Tom Hardy was fun. I thought the graphics was fun. I thought the story don't make no sense. And if you're gonna do null, then you gotta commit to something. You got to commit to something. It's like it
All right.
wasn't as grotesquely bad as what they done with Gore. Like no, this was actually worse than what they done with Gore, in my opinion. Like Gore was at least in it, Chris. But it's like Gore was at least in it. Maybe I didn't like exactly how they told the story, but at least it was in it. But Noel's not even in this.
No, I mean he talked.
He's not even in this.
He talked. You saw his face.
He's not even in this. Spoiler alert, Noel is not even in this. At most, you get 2 CGI moments where mostly you're just looking at his hairline, and one time he picks his head up and he's got like Venom teeth, and you're like, cool.
And then when he was entombed back into whatever that was.
And so I'm like, I didn't. And what was there a post credit? What was the post credit?
I stayed for one because I had to use the bathroom. I was like, man, it doesn't even make sense. Chris was supposed to talk about the post credit. It was actually, I think he texted me. The first one was the bartender, I believe it was.
Oh, that's right, the bartender. Yes. So the bartender who was the post credit of the other movies, the post credit of this movie.
Right. So he gets snatched up by Strickland. He was about to touch the portion of Venom. Got sucked up by Strickland. Paused. And they pretty much tased him and then brought him along because I guess they have a do not leave witnesses type of thing going on here. I'm not sure. And then the second one, Chris said, didn't miss much. Mexican dude walking out, and there's still a little bit of the symbiote left, and it grabs a cockroach, which Dr. Payne was talking about cockroaches at one point, if you bother to remember, in this movie.
Great. So
yeah.
So there you go.
That's it right there. It was a fun time if you took someone. You went by yourself? Did you go with someone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you went with someone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you had a good time with that person. You enjoyed their company.
Mm-hmm.
That's the positive to this. I went by myself. I was thinking about I should have brought my nephew. He probably would have loved this. And I would have loved the fact that he loved it. Who is this? I would have loved the fact that he loved it, and then that would have made me love being there. But since I went by myself, I can't say yeah, nah.
So what do you rank it?
I'm gonna give this a 4.5 at best. If I went with someone who actually liked it, then maybe I'd have given it a 5. I'd have given it a mid.
4.5 pretty low, Rich. Pretty low.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm fully aware of that.
What did you give the second one? You didn't like this better than the second one?
I did not like this better than the second one. The
second one better than this?
Rich, 4.5? 4.5?
First of all, you had a hard out, sir. Why are you here right now?
I got it on the dashboard driving just to hear what you give me. You give this masterpiece, and you gave this masterpiece a 4.5?
He's so angry.
Did you say a masterpiece and you gave it a 7?
Yes, but it's not a 4.5 though, Rich.
Oh, it's a 4.5 in this over in this sphere over here in New York, baby. 4.5.
Oh man, Chris back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So yeah, 4.5. Listen, I'm not saying you guys shouldn't go out to watch this. Do what you want. You might like it. Bring your kids, bring your family like Martin did, and you all can have a time together.
It moved Sebastian. Sebastian
is 6. Okay.
Not
much is gonna move him.
What about your girl, Jack?
Yeah, she was crying.
She went in there with her 8-year-old brain. All right.
The biggest Tom Hardy fan. She loves Venom. And listen, this movie kind of it gets there near the end in some levels. And if you've been along for the movie's not that good though. I can't believe Chris came back just to yell at you, though, man. That's some commitment to it.
I knew it. I was like, if I rush fast enough, I'm gonna hear Rich totally crap over it.
So angry. So collectively, we've given it a 5.6.
Okay, it's a little above average there. There we go.
Above average, yeah. The movie's above average.
Sure.
Which I think that's pretty fair. You know, I think that's pretty fair. I think six is probably where this thing honestly wants to be. Rich might be a little low, and Chris probably a little high. Somewhere in the middle there is probably fair.
Okay. All right. Chris, since you're here, do you have any recommendations?
I did. They're on my desk. But my recommendations are going to be movies that where the third installment was fantastic. So I have Ghostbusters Afterlife in there. I have
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Die Hard with a Vengeance. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what else I had on there, but that's kind of where my list was going.
All right. That was pretty solid. Okay. Listen. And here comes Viv with the Sebastian loved it. Yes, thank you.
Loved
Viv.
it.
We understand. He cried. He bawled his eyes out. Let's get into some of these comments real quick. First of all, Corey, Last Dance is in 5 words: failed cash grab, flaming garbage.
Corey, you bite your tongue when you're talking to me.
Okay. I love how you both can tell that Chris is making stuff. Yeah, it took a while, but yes, we've learned that Chris will confidently say the biggest lies that he can, and with a straight face. Like,
that's not true. The gas thing was true.
Without any hesitation, he just comes with it like that. Just it is like. What we got? Sony really wants in more with MCU. That Marvel money is no joke. They would love getting a Venom. I'm sorry, a Venom Wolverine one-off with Radcliffe. Okay. I'm vicariously watching this movie. Listen, I don't know how much you got out of it, but yeah. In the comic, isn't Null in prison, entombed in a bowl of symbiotes?
Oh,
that's what it seemed like he was in, like something liquid like wrapped him up.
Yeah, that probably is.
I have to go back. That's gonna be my next comment. I'm gonna go buy King in Black and read it.
Okay.
How are you a Venom fan? You haven't read.
King
in Black is a.
I'm an old school. I'm like at least a protective Venom fan. Like 90s. Like remember the short runs they had in the 90s where there was like a 4-issue story arc and they kind of restart a new story.
Yeah, that's
kind of like, which is like the Lethal Protector age. That's kind of like where I fell in love with Venom because you know what? I'll tell you the truth. So in the 90s, we were all about collecting, and every issue was a number 1, and that's what really got me to buying Venom is because.
Dude, that's what's going on now in the comic book world. Every issue is a number 1. There's more new premiere issues or spin-off series on comics than anything. And then the other thing that they're just doing insane is every issue has like 25 exclusive covers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
I bought all those Venom tickets. They're going to be worth a ton of money because I thought I was going to be rich as a kid because I'm buying number 1 foil cover limited edition. But because every comic was like that, they're all worth like $10 right now.
Yeah. Yes, like the stream. Throw some comments in there. Subscribe if you haven't. We got Connie's laughing because this is funny. It's Chris. Chris is hilarious. He's hilarious. This is comedic gold. Yeah. The yeah, pretty much. Connie's still cracking up. Tell Chris. Chris was crying too. Oh,
Sebastian and Chris hugging each other, crying at the end. Oh, so we didn't spoil the movie. So wait. So this is how the movie ends. All right. So spoiler. Here's the end of the movie. Venom decides to turn into a giant glob after watching his entire symbiotic family decimated by this creature and him hiding in a corner. He decides to man up to the creature and he envelops the creature. He envelops the creature in himself with Eddie with them for a moment. And then he drags himself onto the platform where it rains acid. Right. And he has the general guy hit the code in and then he spits Eddie out and then he's doused in acid.
and then he found the only acid-proof door to cover
In
Eddie
the
in.
entire compound.
All right, and then Strickland, who kind of went out, in my opinion, like G, because he was like, "I'm about to be doused in acid, and I already have a stab wound through my side, so I'm just gonna blow a grenade." And the acid was explosive.
Flammable acid.
Very
Yep.
flammable. That
And
blew.
so all
Yeah.
of Area 51 was decimated, except for Eddie Brock,
Except for
who
Eddie
was
Brock.
under the weight of a giant metal door.
I don't
With
know.
glass.
I don't know. This is a masterpiece, as Chris says. Got it.
Right.
But listen, thank you for watching this disconjoined reenactment of Venom: The Last Dance, and we appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And listen, with all the negativity in the world, go tell someone you love them, and we will catch you in the next one. Same bad time,
Same bad chat.
There it is. All right.